Hey, it's Celia in the Sonic Cathedral at WNXP with a repeat customer, Arlo Parks. Welcome back to WNXP.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Thank you for being here. And it's like night and day a little bit. It's been about exactly 2 years, we realized offline. We were masked.
Yes.
Wild times. You were here opening for Claro. Beautiful show at the Ryman. But you're here now, headlining shows. And then you have accompaniment, a full band.
Yeah, no, I mean, my band, we've been playing together for maybe like 6 or 7 years now. We had our 300th show actually the other night in Chicago. And yeah, Claire has like become an even more dear friend of mine since then. So it's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, yes, you play with full band. We just got really nice stripped down songs last time here. And to hear these with all the instrumentation that went into My Soft Machine, I wanted to ask you first about that, about the community you said was forged around the making of this newest record. Maybe how that differed from your past work.
Yeah, I mean, the first record was very much made in quite like an insular, small way. Like it was just me and one other person mainly. And then I moved to LA, and I don't know, I think for me, what had always attracted me to making music and sharing it was just people, like having people around me, people to bounce ideas off of, to be inspired by. And so I really like went in search of that in California and found some really beautiful people. And it made the record that much more fulfilling when it was finished, because it felt like it was born from like friendship, which was really nice. Yeah.
Was there anything that resulted in, a final track on the record that you were like, I would have never thought to do that if it was Arlo 5 years ago? And
maybe Devotion, maybe like Devotion, the song we played, because, I've always had this really deep love of like 90s rock music and guitar. And I don't think it's something that you can necessarily see as much in my music before. But, like I love the Smashing Pumpkins, like I love Yo La Tengo, and I love the Pixies, and like Radiohead, all these bands kind of are in my DNA. So I think maybe back then I wouldn't have had the courage to bring that into my music. But the people around me would just like follow your gut and just try it. Why not?
I remember the first listen of that song was like, okay, Arlo. Like I love the ripping guitar. And then there's so much synth on the record, and it's just a different experience, a different listen. But the through line, of course, is always your very place-based poetry come to life through song. What are some experiences that lent to these new songs that maybe, even though that's the same style of you as a songwriter, put you in a different place? Is that place LA, or is it like an emotional place?
I think maybe it was just the experience in general, being out in the world again and feeling a lot more perceived than I was, going into the pandemic. And I think that kind of made me want to go inwards in ways, and thinking about, the way that the world filters through me, and whether that be, things that I've experienced that have like left a residue on me, and healing that I have to do, or love that I've found, friendships, the way that people have changed me, the way that I've changed others. It was very much deep diving into my journals rather than writing from a more kind of observational place. But it was still that same sensitivity and that same curiosity when it came to people.
Residue on me, that really struck me. I'm gonna have to use that, because that's not always a bad thing, right?
Yeah,
sometimes it's a nice
always.
trace amounts of joy and pain. A residue. You spoke about Claro, who you were here with on tour a couple years ago, but what are some other maybe peers in music that, as you've grown and you're touring nonstop and writing nonstop and having this community around you, some other peers that you consider really formative in your growth as an artist?
I mean, I think Phoebe and the Boy Genius guys always. I stumbled upon this video that we did like 4 years ago when we were singing Fake Plastic Trees together in a church. And I was like barely 20, and I was talking to her about it, and like, no, I think that specific band, I mean, what they've done separately and together, just shaping the culture with music that just feels so true and real, and they're just like sweet, funny, hardworking people. And then Ella Lord as well is like one of the people that is like, she's just like a wise older sister to me, definitely, like sharing a lot of beautiful poetry and a lot of beautiful wisdom. But everyone in the kind of indie space does look out for each other, I think, in ways. Like there's a little pocket of us who are always like checking in with each other and like championing each other, which is really nice.
That's really nice. It's you feel like it could be a risk that you lose some of that familiarity, the more people that are right in your phone. But it sounds like it's really supportive and nurturing to you still.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Can you think of anything else, since the passage of time has been the point of this interview this last 2 years, something like a bonus of the passage of time or aging in general that you've observed?
I guess just having more confidence in trusting my intuition and in taking risks. And I guess I feel like my awareness that like music and art for me is like a long arc thing has really developed, where instead of maybe, being hyper focused on like making each step as the right step, being like, okay, I'm going to be doing this for decades and decades, and all I can do is do what's best for me now, and if I have a better idea, then I'll make something else. Just being a bit more loose grip in terms of the way that I make things.
Sounds like you're able to practice presence because you're not like, have to grip onto this or it's going to escape me.
Exactly.
Oh, I love how that's turned into your art. Thank you for joining us again, and have a great, safe, beautiful tour. You said you're enjoying this and feeling good.
Yes, feeling very good.
Hope you carry on with that.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Me.